There's me thinking that our boat was larger than I was expecting. And then you park it next to an actual cruise ship and it looks like a lifeboat.
All right, guys, Rob Ferretti here, and you may not know I'm not the biggest boat guy, right? It's just not my thing. I love a nice white sand beach, and I love water where you can see down to your feet. I just don't generally like boats. Therefore, I am obviously not a cruise ship guy. But it was one of my friend's 40th birthdays, and she wanted to go on a yacht in the Caribbean, which had me searching around. And the option that I saw that was the best value was actually the Ritz Carlton launched a yacht collection. And I was like, all right, it's not a 20-person yacht for us, but it's also not a 6,000-person cruise ship, which I don't think I really like either of those. It was right in between, 290 people and me on a boat in the Caribbean. Check it out.
All right, everybody, Rob Ferretti here in Puerto Rico. And I am not a cruise ship guy. I've never been on a cruise ship in my life, but this is an instance when I am about to try yachting. And I'm gonna take you along with me. Behind me right there, Ritz Carlton Yacht. Now, you didn't know Ritz Carlton had a yacht program? Well, they do, and I'm about to try it out.
So yachting is new to me, so I didn't know what to expect. Once we got to the port, we had to wait in a little bit of a line because Customs, this was their first time checking in the US territory. So Customs was taking longer with the boat, which created a little bit of a line where we were standing outside before going into the cruise terminal and making our way onto the boat.
All right, objectively, I would say just about the same size as the Titanic, right? It's a good omen.
Yeah, nice one there. Yeah.
Iceberg, straight ahead.
My itinerary was as follows. We were going to start in Puerto Rico. We were going to go the first night to St Barths, spend the next night in St Barths. Then we were going to go to St Kitts, and then from St Kitts we were going to go to St John before coming back to Puerto Rico. Pretty simple itinerary, not a lot of floating around, so I figured if I was going to have a problem with motion sickness or anything like that, it would take care of itself with not being on the water that long. Now let's check out the room. I got the base room, double occupancy, but it's $4,200 per person, and that was $8,400 per couple.
All right, and here is the guest room. Nice ample size bed. And this is the very, very basic entry-level suite. I think it's 600 and something square feet. There's a bathroom in there. Bathroom with toilet. And shower with rain shower and handle. 2 sinks, drawers, some closets here, which little Ritz Carlton things, some robes, power outlets, which are important. I was curious. Yeah, US outlets and USB plugs. Bottle them away. The champagne. Center drawer here is your dishes. The dishes allow for you to make coffees in what looks like an espresso maker, but it is not an espresso. It is the other brand. That was the bottle of champagne they gave us when we arrived. The mini bar is all free. You can help yourself at any point in time. And then an ample sized balcony. And even if you have people that you know next door like we did, you can open that flap.
The housekeeping staff were phenomenal. I don't know how many rooms they have each, but anytime I left my room, they were in it. It's like they knew I was leaving, and I could go out and get a cup of coffee. I came back, my room was immaculate, clean, made up, and that was probably one of the things that I remember, that the service from that perspective was as good as it gets. So naturally, after you see your room and you're happy with that, next thing you do, go grab a drink and walk around the boat, see what else is there, and start to get your bearings straight so you know where you're going to socialize and you don't miss anything important.
All right, first impression. not bad.
Now they also offer a scheduled tour where they walk you through the boat, but I like doing my own thing, so I just grab a whiskey and explore with my friends. The boat itself was gorgeous. I think everything was upscale, luxury. It was all inclusive except for the one restaurant, SEA, which was a Michelin star chef. And that chef, if you wanted to do that, you had to make the reservation. It was like a $300 supplement per person for dinner. But the other 4 or 5 restaurants on the boat were all phenomenal. The food was not a letdown at all. You have unlimited in-suite dining, you have unlimited mini bar, you have anything you want to eat or consume, which is all top notch. Even the bar, I was curious. I'm like, what sort of alcohol are you going to get for an all-inclusive? It was Glenfiddich, which is what I drink mainly, but then they have the Whistle Pigs and the higher-end Redbreasts and Louis XIII, which you could get if you wanted to pay up for it. I had no reason to do that. The shortcomings of the boat, there's not a lot of stuff to do other than eat and drink. Outside of the 2 drinking areas, there's not really much else to do. There's no movie theater or anything like that on the boat. All of the pools that are on the boat aren't really designed for a lot of people. Maybe you fit 4 or 6, 8 people in them max. A lot of people went to the spa, so you saw a lot of people walking around in robes. There was one hot tub on the 9th floor, which is technically like a quiet lounge for the spa, but there's also a hot tub outside. That seemed to be the most social of the space for people that wanted to be in the water and have their drinks in their hand and enjoy themselves that way. And although there was a lack of pools, when you did drop anchor off these islands where they would shuttle you in and out of smaller places like St Barths or St John's, which you'd never be able to access with a cruise ship, they open up the back of the boat for water sports. So you can literally go swimming or doing water sports or paddle boarding or whatever, snorkeling right off the back of the boat, and that's really cool. And the sides flip down, there's a bar down there. It was a very cool and unique thing where you're even sitting out over the water. When they open it up, they put seats out there, and that's very cool. Another cool thing about this yacht is it's small enough to pull into areas and islands that you can't otherwise dock at in a larger cruise ship. Like a large cruise ship needs a big dock where everyone can get out and walk. When you only have 290 guests, you can use the little shuttle boats to get people back and forth to the boat, and you can go to islands like St Barths or St John, which are both phenomenal, but you can't access those same islands with a cruise ship. They scan you in and out when you go. It's very easy, so they know who's on and who's not. They can obviously just call you if there's only a couple hundred people on the boat. They're not going to leave without you. I'm sure they'll arrange it. They'll probably charge you for some specialty transport if you miss the boat. But I didn't see anyone pulling up in their own water taxi or anything because they missed a boat. Everyone was pretty responsible about that. St. Barths was awesome. It was very upscale and luxury. We ended up spending the day there, getting shuttled over to and from by boat, which is both convenient and not convenient, right? It's convenient to have the boat scuttle you back and forth. But when you're on the boat eating or doing something, you're like, oh, you want to go back to the island to go do something. It's like, whatever. We're here instead of boating back and forth to go to the club, and maybe there's not a lot of people there, or maybe there are a lot of people there. Who knows? Let's just stay here. The boat is a floating party. And I think that's one of the things that's nice about it is that there's no giant swimming pools that people are fighting over positioning for chairs. There were 2 main social areas on the boat. One on the 4th floor, which is the floor that you get on and off the boat with. That's where the stairs come down the sides on either side, depending on where you docked. It's big open space, and every open space can pretty much accommodate everyone on the boat. So it never feels crowded anywhere you go unless everybody is in one space for a specific social event or something like that. And even then, it still doesn't feel crowded. You never have trouble finding an excellent spot to sit, drink, eat, socialize. That's one of the best things about this. You didn't have to really schedule much. You could just show up and have a good time without worrying about you're going to miss something if you don't get ahead of everybody else. Now, we were lucky enough to see the contrast between a cruise ship, which, again, I don't know how many other people on the boat actually were on cruises before, but we got to see the contrast between an actual cruise ship and where they dock, and then the experience that we were getting by going to St. Kitts.
Here's me thinking that our boat was larger than I was expecting. And then you park it next to an actual cruise ship, and it looks like a lifeboat. I don't even think we can get everybody on our ship in the case of an emergency.
Now, St. Kitts was my least favorite of anywhere that we went. St. John I loved, had great beaches. And then St. Barths I really liked for the social aspect, the shopping. And like there's Nikki Beach we went to, and there was a place we went to right next to Nikki Beach. I love it. I would go back to either St. John or St. Barths any day. St. Kitts, is not my style. So I guess the big question is, would I do it again? And the answer is probably not. It really depends on the itinerary or who wants to go or what the reason for it is. I am not a boat guy. I've learned this. Like, it's my first time on the open ocean doing anything like this, and it's not for me, right? Like, I didn't like being in the shower and sort of like feeling like you're rocking back and forth a little bit. At night, you can hear like the cabinets creak and everything like that. Even though everything was very well done, there's still motion of the boat, and that's just not really my thing. So if you guys are interested, I'm going to give it a 2 thumbs up if you're a boat person. If you are not inherently a boat person, this may make you a boat person, or it may be something you're interested in. But if you are a cruise person, this has got your name all over it. I don't think there's anyone doing it better out there. And I do think this is a significantly better value than chartering your own yacht with your 10 friends. That becomes significantly more expensive. And I don't even think the experience is as good or as comprehensive. You don't have your own live entertainment. You don't have anything like that. You're just sitting and drinking with your 7 or 8 friends. So if you want to try them out, I'll put a link to the Ritz Carlton Yacht collection below. This is not a sponsored video. I have no cooperation with them. I paid retail for this, but I thought it was a cool experience, and I thought you guys may enjoy my take. Thanks for watching. See you next time.